Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are doing a collaboration with the lovely Kelsey from the Empress Tarot channel, and together we're going to be taking a look at, well, we're going to be diving into the Akashic Records because we're taking a look at why your soul chose to incarnate and what your soul mission is. So over on my side of the collaboration, we'll be taking a look at your soul's purpose, your life purpose and soul's mission when incarnating, and then over on Kelsey's channel she'll be taking a look at why your soul chose to incarnate in the first place. Really excited for these messages to come through. I love doing these topics, you guys know. So thank you, Kelsey, for reaching out and doing this collaboration with me. Very excited to get the messages through today. So you guys have 4 crystals to choose from. Pile number 1 is the pink amethyst crystal. Pile number 2 is the clear quartz. Pile number 3 is the pyrite, and pile number 4 is the amethyst. I forgot the name. So yeah, see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box, as well as the link to Kelsey's channel, the Empress Tarot channel, and the link to part 2 of the collaboration over there as well. So you can go on ahead and watch that after you've picked your pile. And yeah, we'll see you guys at your timestamps. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your soul's purpose and soul's mission in this lifetime. So you guys chose the pink amethyst crystal, and I wanted to do something different today. So instead of using tarot, I just wanted to use oracle cards. One of my, I hate saying subscribers because I just feel like you're my family, like you're a collective, you know, you're all part of me. So I hate to say subscribers. So one of my lovely soul tribe sent me this beautiful deck. It's called Path of the Soul, and I really want to just use this today to bring information through, because using it for myself, I got a lot of messages coming through, so I wanted to use that here, if that's okay. So let's get in. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of the pink amethyst pile. Oh, cards just jumped on the floor. Okay, bear in mind these cards have no words on them, they just have images, so I'm just going to place them down. So we have 1, I'm going to pull 3. Pile number 1's soul, mission and life purpose in this lifetime. Pile number 1's soul, mission. Your cards keep leaping on the floor. Okay, what a beautiful card. Alright, one more card, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1's soul, mission and life purpose. Okay. I want it so you can see. Okay. Let's make that focus. Okay, so pile number 1's soul, mission and life purpose in this lifetime. I really do feel that you guys are born healers, and I think that you guys came with your heart space very open when you decided to incarnate, and I think you chose to do that for a reason. I think that your life purpose is to guide and help souls through their own darkness, and to rebirth through light, and I feel like you're here as a guide for people. We can be a spirit guide and guide people, but there's such there's something so beautiful, and there's something a lot more intimate when you actually incarnate and actually guide people in that way. And by that I mean, sometimes when we connect with spirit and we connect with our spirit guides, we can get the most beautiful messages, but our human brain can sometimes tell us, oh well, that was all in our head, or that was all that was just my imagination, or that isn't real, and we can tend to go back on that. And a lot of us with psychic gifts can sometimes do that because our logical brain can sometimes take over. However, sometimes souls will incarnate as guides to help other people through that darkness and activate people while they're also human beings. And I really do feel like you feel like a spirit guide that's incarnated into the physical. Now I do feel like a lot of your purpose was to clear karma. I always say, especially right now on Earth, there's a lot of karma on Earth. There's a lot of karma that needs to be cleared on Earth. That's why we're very much in a particular vibration right now, and it just keeps being added to and added to and added to. And the way we clear that karma is we incarnate, we embody that karma, and we clear it ourselves. When we heal bloodlines, when we heal our ancestry line and our DNA, we're not healing everyone around us, we're just healing ourselves, and that energy naturally activates that healing. And I really do feel like you guys would have incarnated with a very open heart into darkness, so that you could kind of seed yourself in the dark to shine out, so that you could guide other people to do the same, so that you could activate and help other people and inspire people to do the same, to also just tell your story while you're going through the dark, so that other souls can see that and be inspired by that, and as well so that other souls aren't as lonely. You're there to walk in that path with them, you know what I mean? So I feel like your main soul mission was to clear karma, but it was always to help guide people in doing so as well. That's what I'm really picking up for you guys, and it's coming really strongly with this particular card here. When we heal and clear karma from our family line, we're naturally raising Mother Gaia's vibration anyway, because that means that it's being cleared within us. Our energy is shifting. We've literally changed our DNA so that our descendants are not going to have to take that on, and there's a lighter energy there. So I feel like that's part of why you chose to incarnate, but I also feel that you guys chose to incarnate to to embody love in probably one of its most purest forms. I think there's something very authentic about you, and I think that there's something very I think that you have such a beautiful rawness and how do I put this into words? There's like a vulnerability within you where it's like, you know, sometimes when people are going through it, are working through certain wounds, and they can be on the defense, or they'll try and guard their heart. I feel like you guys, no matter what happens, it's like you naturally shine your light out anyway. You naturally shine your heart out. You naturally shine love out to the people around you anyway. And I feel like that holds space for other people to see a beautiful representation of what love is. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like you're here to embody that. I feel like you guys are very empathic, and I feel like it's so to the point, but the feeling is you're here to love and embody love, you know, and not just love like, oh, romantic love, like love from source, the true essence of what love is. You're here to hold that frequency and be a, what's the word? I don't know why I'm forgetting my words today. I've got some brain fog today. Be an example of what love is and what that purity is. I feel like that's what you're here to do, to really hold that. And I feel like that in itself is a lighthouse for other people. Because I see that you've been incredibly kind and incredibly giving and loving and understanding to the people around you, even when you've seen a lot of darkness. Even when you were going through your own darkness, you still held that light and frequency for people, and I feel like that is why you chose to incarnate. But I feel like anything that you do in this lifetime is going to be guiding, helping, pouring love into people and holding space for people. I think that's why you're here. You're literally here to be a physical incarnate of a spirit guide, you know what I mean, a mentor and guide people, which is really, really beautiful. And I'm being told that you've had to withhold that frequency and hold that light in really, really dark times, but you've still held on to it. So I feel like that's your gift, you know what I mean? And I think Spirit's referencing that it's your gift, because maybe sometimes you may look at it like that's a curse, and it's not. That is your gift. I also do feel like for a lot of you guys, you're here to bring through and pass through information, because what's funny is when I was opening up to your reading, I was being shown geometric shapes, and then I kept being shown crop circles, and I didn't understand why I was seeing crop circles, because spiritually I don't know too much about crop circles. I've never once channeled it. I've heard what people have said about it when I've watched things like Ancient Aliens and stuff, but I've never channeled it myself, so I can't really speak from what I know, only what I've heard. And what I've heard about crop circles is that Spirit or I guess people say aliens, it's all one and the same to me, would try and communicate with human beings through these crop circles. So I was being shown that and I didn't understand it, but then I'm literally being shown you as a bridge, bringing and guiding information through. So it's almost like I could be a spirit guide and I could be a soul guiding and helping on earth, but instead I'm actually going to incarnate and I'm going to guide and help that way, because there's something different about that. There's something more intimate about that. There's something more more strong. How do I, bear with me because I really do have brain fog today, but there's something more activating me as a human being standing there and being able to give you that clarification, and me being able to give you that healing, and you can hear it from my voice, you know what I mean, instead of trying to pass it through, because maybe, you know, you might not be connected in that moment, or you might not want to listen in that moment, but if I'm here physically and you're guided to me, I can physically help you out. So there's something about there, it's like, okay, instead of, you know, shooting these crop circles into the grass, I'm actually going to incarnate and draw them myself. So that is something that I'm being shown, but I really do feel like you are here as well to bridge a realm between the realms, between, you know, the fifth dimension, 6 and beyond, and bring healing messages through and guidance through. I do feel like some of you guys might have strong mediumship abilities. If not mediumship abilities, I do feel like you guys may be able to channel really well, because I keep being shown like you stood there, someone's behind you and someone's in front of you. One person's energetic, one person's physical, and you're passing information through. So that's another thing coming through. I feel like you are here to bridge a realm and guide people in that way. And I do find as well, a lot of people, you know, even if they're not super open to spirit, not psychics, therapists and counselors and motivational speakers, they're usually channeling energy without realizing it, channeling healing messages without realizing it, channeling and activating motivation without realizing it. Even with music and movies and art, you know what I mean? A lot of people will be channeling things and just thinking, oh, it's in my head, but really they're channeling activations and healing through. So I really do feel like you are here as well to be a bridge in that way. And I think that's why you chose the pink amethyst, because the pink energy is connecting to the heart chakra, and I feel like you are here to love, hold space and guide with love. But I do think with it being the amethyst connecting to the third eye, I feel like you have your higher chakras very open so that you can bring that beautiful frequency and those messages through, and you can be intuitively guided to who you need to at that time. So that's something really, really coming through strong as well. I think you guys are proper sweethearts, and I think that you've really, really seen and gone through a lot and had to purge a lot. I love to say this, but I really do feel like you guys are alchemists, and I feel like you're here to cleanse any of the darkness, find your way back to the light, and then show other people how to do it. Whether you meet them down in the darkness and they walk with you back to the light, or whether you are just helping, you know, when you popped up to the surface, helping give those messages through, because you've already been it and made your way back. But I do feel like you're here as a guide and as a mentor, and I feel like you are kind of born healers. Pile number ones, it's coming through really strongly with this middle card here. And the amount of green here as well. Your heart chakra is very, very open. I think you're able to hold space in really large capacities for people, but also hold space in regards to healing and helping other people and bringing a lot of healing messages and healing energy from spirit through to people. Whether you use that in regards to, you know, Reiki healing and using your hands and passing that healing through, or whether you just hold space for people and pass it through, or whether you know, speak it through to people. I feel like there's coding in whichever way you choose to do it, and I think that's why you chose to incarnate. I don't see that you as a specific soul had much karma on earth. I think it was more looking at it like there's a lot of karma on earth, and I am guiding here anyway, so I may as well jump in and guide while I'm there. So while I'm there, I may as well clear some karma, you know what I mean, and go on that journey myself. So that's kind of how it comes through, because I don't see your soul choosing to incarnate in the sense of, oh, I have a lot of karma and I need to clear it when I get down there. It's not that. It's more so the collective has a lot of karma and I'm going to jump down. It's almost like I don't necessarily need to incarnate, I'm just going to. That's how it feels. I don't feel like there was an unfinished business feeling from you. It was more so I'm going to help out, that sort of feeling. If it suddenly went dark, apologies, the sun just slipped behind the clouds. So let's pull your final cards. See, I pull a lot from these. I really love when I don't have words or, you know, like too much. Like, I love to just channel and pick up from, I get a lot from this personally. And I think the reason I'm referencing it a lot with your pile is maybe you would too. Because I do see that you guys are channelers. So if you sometimes feel a little bit stuck with tarot or anything like that, try finding a deck with just imagery. Or maybe try with like runes or something like that, or rose petals or leaves, because I feel like a lot would come through. Because I used to think I'd get stuck sometimes, because it would be like I'd be looking for information, and when I just started to channel, that's when I really realized where the gift was. So I feel the need to give that pointer for anyone that struggles with tarot. Pile number 1, please, for guides. Pile number 1. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What is pile number 1's soul mission and life purpose? Okay, we have the Judge. I'm gonna get one more card. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What is pile number 1's soul mission? And we have the River. So with the Judge and the River, guys, what I'm really picking up with, especially with the River card as well, when we look at a river, it never stays still. A river constantly moves, it constantly flows, and everything gets cleansed and goes along with the river. And I just really feel energetically that's what your soul purpose is, to have that energy of the river and help clear and remove anything that comes up, anything that's stopping that river from flowing. When we have a bunch of rocks and we have a bunch of, you know, rubbish and trash in the river, it stops that river from flowing. And I feel like you chose to incarnate, and I feel a lot of your mission is to collectively but also individually, in regards to, you know, family karma and you know, your earlier life as well individually, but then it kind of mirrors into the collective. I feel like you're here to remove distortions, remove and cleanse and purge wounding, so that that river of abundance and energy can flow. And I feel like that's why you guys are here. And especially with the Judge card as well, I just really do feel like when we think of a judge and they're like ruling something, they have to look at it in black and white. There's no room for any grey area. But when you mix that judge energy with the river here as well, I just feel like you're able to I see, how do I put this in words? It's like your soul's looking at the greater good collectively, and it's like, okay, this is blocking me, this is distorting me, this has got to go, this has got to be cleared, this has got to purge. And then I see you doing that in your individual life, like this has got to be purged, this has got to be cleansed, this has got to go, and it's like all being removed so that that flow of spirit can come through psychically. So I do feel for a lot of you guys, you're here to help awaken souls and bring help people tap back into the higher chakras, so that wisdom can flow through and abundance can flow through in regards to spirit, but also in regards to the heart chakra as well. It's like, this is distorting, this is, you know, keeping me from my truth, and it's like purging and cleansing that out so that river of love can flow through, so that whatever souls you help get in contact with, they have this flowing river of abundance and connection to spirit to come through, so that they're more in their power. It's almost like we're clearing the channel for healing and spirit to come through. And I feel like that starts with you. I feel like your earlier life, you would have been clearing that channel, purging, clearing, going through maybe karmic cycles where certain experiences triggered wounds within you, so that you could clear it out from your subconscious. And then I feel like you would reach a point on, and I feel a lot of you guys have already reached that point where it's then, and now I'm going to help guide other people how to do it, so they have that clear energy to help bring those messages through as well, and help people be in tune with the heart and spirit, so the crown chakra as well. And I think that's why you chose this pink amethyst here, because it's again pink, heart chakra, and spirit, you know, the amethyst energy for the crown chakra, and the third eye, which is really, really beautiful. So I feel like you are here as well to help not trigger people's awakenings, but activate people's awakenings, or plant seeds of wisdom for either healing or for people to connect to spirit a lot deeper, which is really, really interesting and really powerful. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'll have the link to part 2 to Kelsey's channel in the description box, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your soul purpose and life mission in this lifetime. So you guys chose the clear quartz. I wanted to say about the clear quartz that you guys chose. When I was choosing the crystals for each of the piles, when I got to pile 2 and I was seeing which crystal I was drawn to, I immediately was taken to the clear quartz, and all I could hear was, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And I felt that really, really strongly as I grabbed onto the crystal as well. So I really wanted to reference that to you guys because I feel like it's going to pertain to the reading, and I just thought it was really, really beautiful. So I'm going to start with these cards. There's no words or real imagery on these cards. It's just colors and beautiful shapes, and that's what I really felt called to use for this reading today instead of tarot. I do have oracle cards to pull as well, so I will be pulling them too. But let's get in. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. The clear quartz pile. What is pile number 2's soul mission? What is pile number 2's life purpose in this lifetime? What is pile number 2's... Ooh, okay, your cards just jumped about. So we have this card. We get your other card that fell on the floor. We have this one. I'll get one more card for you guys. Pile number 2. Pile number 2's life mission and soul purpose. Pile number 2's life mission and soul purpose. Okay. Pile number 2's life mission and soul purpose. So straight away, I'm being taken to your higher selves, and I see you guys. It's like you're looking at Earth and you're looking at like different species and the elements, and then you're looking at human beings and you're like, everyone's listening to this rhythm but human beings. Like, you've got all of the aquatic animals and, you know, the animals in the ocean, and maybe it's because it's more visible, but they can see their ebbs and flows, and they can see the currents, and they're all moving in unison, and they're all part of each other. And then you go onto the land and you see the birds all moving in unison, and they're connected. You see, you know, cats and lions, and, you know, they can tell when a storm's coming, and they can feel it coming, and it's they all honor each other. They're moving in these packs. But then you get to human beings, and it's like they're not listening to their own inner currents. They're not listening to the other currents. It's like they've lost themselves. They don't ever, the capacity in which human beings can reach, it's like they've lost touch of it. And there's this feeling of wanting to incarnate, to tap people back into that. And it's like, I don't know why, it's almost like I'm looking at it and I'm going, you kind of got the idea, but then not really. Like, you're forgetting the key to all of this is through yourself first, and you're searching everywhere but yourselves. Because whenever I tap into Mother Gaia and spirit, there's always this reference of like, human beings are meant to move in tribes, we're meant to move in collectives. However, what happened was human beings lost connection to source and spirit, which led them to not be able to see that light and spirit within the land that they're on, and Mother Gaia, because Mother Gaia is our God, Mother Gaia is our elder, you know, and we forgot that connection to her, which led us to forget that animals and all of that hold so much wisdom, and they're our brothers and sisters. We forget that. Then we forget our connection to each other, that sacred connection to each other, because then we lose it and we forget that within ourselves. We forget how sacred we are. We forget how sacred our temples are. We forget how sacred, and when I say temples, I mean inner temples, our physical body. We forget how sacred our own internal cycles are. So we're so detached from our own internal cycles, we don't even listen to Mother Gaia's cycles, you know what I mean, and the collective cycles. And then everything kind of becomes a little bit discombobulated, and we know we're meant to connect to something, so we try and find that connection in other people. But we're doing it from a place of lack, not from a place of, I see you, you're part of me. You know, we're doing it because we're trying to fill a void, and we're going about it the wrong way. We get the idea, but not really, you know? And I feel like that energy coming through very strong from your souls. I feel like you are here to show everyone around you or embody love in such a way that you're an example for it for everybody around you. Like, I feel like you really see people. I feel like you really understand people. You really empathize with people. I think you guys are strongly empathic, strongly clairsentient, and you see people as part of you. You see people as, you know, Mother Gaia is part of you, nature is part of you, animals as part of you. There's such a love there for people, and I feel like you feel things very intensely because you allow your emotions to be felt. So it's like, you know, this means to me, this land that I'm on means something to me, these animals mean something to me, like this all means something to me. So it's this depth that you reach in regards to your heart space, and it means something to you even more because you understand it to a higher degree. Because with this card and this line going all the way down, this is the line connecting to source. This is the way I'm looking at it, like the line connecting to source, the crown chakra energy, like the soul star chakra, and then you're rooting it down onto earth. And then we have the green and red, the green being for the heart chakra and the red being for the root chakra. So you're seeding your love onto this earth, and it's that not love like, oh, romantic love in regards to universal love. I see you, you're part of me. And I feel like you're here to be an example of that and that understanding for other people to see, and also to protect and guide and hold space for other people to embody that as well. A lot of people are taught to not be vulnerable and to, you know, be quite selfish with that energy or be on the defense. And I feel like your vulnerability and your openness allows and holds space for other people to open up to that too. But also I feel like there's a feeling from you guys as well with your soul mission being to protect innocence, whether that's children, animals, or just Mother Gaia in general. I actually do see some of you guys at one point in your life, if you don't already, move in with organizations that really help Mother Gaia or help animals. Could be children as well, but there's something about animals. Like, I don't know if you guys I don't know why. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if some of you guys work with like rescues or are open to that, but I do see it at one point some of you guys might be. It doesn't matter if it doesn't resonate, it's not going to be for all of you. But the reason I'm saying it, it's reminding me, there's a lady that lives by me, and she her whole life, this is literally what she does. She goes around the streets and she picks up like stray cats, and people will like call her and let her know if there's any stray cats anywhere, or if there's any cats roaming about, and she basically nurses them to health and she finds homes for them. And she's done it for so many cats, and that's where I got all my faux cats from, because they're rescues. And I don't know, it's I just keep feeling that sort of energy, like wanting to protect animals or wanting to protect nature, and again wanting to protect children and innocence from any sort of distortion there, you know what I mean, and really allowing people to just be who they are authentically, especially from young. So I keep being shown that as well. Like I just keep feeling this strong energy of like protection, like protecting like land that you're on, looking after land that you're on. Because a lot of the time when we move throughout earth, we don't realize the sacred grounds that we're on, and we don't even acknowledge the lands that we're on. And if you work with energy, if you've ever done energy clearing like that, lands all around us, trees around us, and whatever it is that we're walking on, that's a consciousness and an energy. And a lot of the time we don't honor that, and just simply honoring that and having gratitude for a land that you're literally living on, you know what I mean, is enough sometimes. And I feel like you're really here to just be an example of that. There's like a tenderness that comes from you and your heart space, and I think it's very healing, and I think you're very healing to people. I also do feel like you are here to hold space for people, because with you guys choosing the clear quartz, and when I tapped in I heard let there be peace on earth, I felt this immense healing kind of wash over me. So you may find that people, when you're around them, will just start telling you things, or being more authentic, maybe connecting to their inner child around you, or being more emotional around you. And I think that's the effect that you have, because I do feel like you're here to hold space for people's authentic selves so that they can get more in touch with their own nature. Because a lot of the times people won't express their own feelings or anger, frustration, which has them disrupt their own cycles. It kind of creates that a wedge in that cog that's turning. But when we start to honor feelings coming through and rising up, that wheel starts to turn, more and more gets cleared, and then we can finally listen to our physical body or our spiritual body or our emotional body a lot stronger. And I feel like you have a purpose there in helping guide people through that and hold space. Even if you don't do it for a profession, just whoever it is that you come to meet, I just feel like you're here to embody that love energy, and that in itself, it holds space for other people to feel safe with you. I do feel as well, for some of you guys, there is a strong connection to like physical health and connecting to the physical body, especially when I was being shown the feet being grounded, and then like roots coming on the feet, and with such red, beautiful grounded energy. And there's red in all of these cards, but specifically the middle one, which is the center energy. I really do feel like you're here, maybe I feel like some of you guys may make breakthroughs in regards to health or listening to the body's internal energy. So it could be that some of you guys could do like energy work, so clearing energy. Like it doesn't have to just be, you know, Reiki healing or shamanism. It could be you know, moving the body, Kundalini yoga, allowing energy to flow through. Again, just speaking about things can get energy kind of moving in the body. So therapists, counselors and things like that. Again, fitness instructors and things, because we're moving the body around. But also when we listen to the body, we can intuitively eat and find foods that work for the body. So there's something about medicine and, you know, maybe the more holistic side, and nutrition and intuitive. It's almost like blending your intuition with medicine, or blending your intuition with nutrition. I see a lot of that as well, and I do think that's all aligned as part of your soul mission and life purpose. Are you okay, baby? Jasper's just jumped up. I was moving my arms and I don't think he liked that at all. He's just staring at me like, you just woke me up. And he was in deep sleep. I feel like, do you know like how animals are so in tune because they're so connected to their bodies, they're so in tune with everything around them? I feel like you're going to reach that point, to that degree, at one point in this lifetime, which means that you would have had to probably in your earlier life do a lot of clearing, possibly in regards to your ancestral lineage, clearing certain karma to help that understanding, and to help that inner knowing in regards to your physical body, like your physical body letting you know, I need this, I need that, and you allowing that to come through. I feel like there would have had to be some clearing of distortions before you did that, and then I think you're meant to help guide other people with that as well. For others of you though, that there's a strong reference with Earth and Mother Gaia. I keep hearing medicine man or medicine woman as well, so that's something that's coming through as well. I feel like you're here to really, and I know it sounds silly to say this, but I mean it in a deeper way. Like when I say you chose to incarnate and your soul mission is to be human, I don't just mean like, oh yeah, human experience. Like, no, I feel like you're here to help remind the collective of what being human is. You know what I mean? And rooting yourself in and understanding you're a part of something huge when you're here incarnating with Mother Gaia, and really seeing the divinity within yourselves, because once you see it in yourselves, you will see it in everyone around you, which will make it more natural for you to open up to your soul tribe, because you recognize people as part of your energy. then you're able to see it in animals and nature and Mother Gaia, because you're a part of her. Your physical body came from her, and then you're able to see it beyond Mother Gaia and, you know, that connection to source. And I feel like it happens that way, and I feel like you start with yourself, and then it kind of gets bigger and bigger as you connect and bring that wisdom through from spirit. So that's really, really beautiful. And I think there's so much capacity that human beings have that we've forgotten about, especially when you think of like Lemurian times and Avalonian times and Atlantean times, and our bodies, we had much more of our brains activated at that point, so we were able to understand a deeper awareness. And I feel like you're here to activate those parts, you know what I mean, and help people feel as comfortable and safe in their body as they can. I feel like that's part of your soul mission. So let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What is pile number 2's life purpose? What is pile number 2's life purpose? What is pile number 2's soul mission on earth? We have the Mystic. Get one more card. Pile number... Oh, where's it gone? Oh, we have 2. We have the Ocean. And we have the Forest. So straight away, guys, I want to talk about the Ocean card in the middle first, because when we think of the water and we think of the ocean, I like to think of the water as a literal other realm. And this card talks about the ocean being the subconscious. Now, human beings cannot go to the depths of the ocean because it's literally physically impossible. So when we think of like the subconscious mind, it's a place where a lot of humans don't usually go. And there's a lot of memory from spirit there. There's a lot of energy and trauma stored within the subconscious, and I really do feel like you're here to really bring that up and open up to that and allow that to flow out. If we attempt to dive really deep into the water, where it's not going to go well. However, the tides come in and the water comes to us, and I really do feel like the presence that you have naturally is that of holding space. So like the sand, the land, holding space for people's waters to open up to you. I really do feel like you have that effect on people. You probably do find that a lot of people will just tell you their deeper secrets, or tell you their deepest fears, or just start being emotional and saying things to you, because I feel like you do naturally have that healing effect. And I do feel like you're here to clear a lot. Like I said, with the clear quartz, I feel like you are here to help people clear anything that is stopping that pathway into self. You know what I mean? That's something that I'm really strongly picking up. And again, with the Mystic on the left side, the Mystic works as the alchemist, turning all darkness to light. So I really do feel like it's more collective for you guys, but I really do feel like you're here to clear any distortion in being connecting to the depths of what it means to actually be human on earth in this realm, and connecting to that highest potential as a human, and activating that heart space to its highest potential, the higher chakras, and connecting to spirit to its highest potential. I feel like you're here to really cleanse and remove anything that is stopping that, you know. And then with the Forest card, when I think of the Forest card, I'm thinking of like a tree is formed by like a seed being planted in the ground. So I really do feel like you are here to plant seeds of wisdom, plant seeds of healing, plant seeds that help people turn back within to themselves, empower themselves from there, and open up to seeing how beautiful it is to incarnate here as human beings, and open up to seeing that God source, that universal energy within themselves, as well as in everything around them, and treating everything with that same tenderness and same love then. I feel like that's what you're here to do, plant seeds to get people there, and I think that's your mission. So pile number 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your soul's mission and life purpose in this lifetime. So you guys chose the pyrite crystal. I'm going to start with this deck, which was sent to me by one of my lovely members of my collective, and I really felt called to use this deck because I'm able to like purely channel and pull a lot from these images, so I really felt called to use this deck instead of tarot for this reading. But I do have oracle cards I'm going to pull for you guys as well. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Oh, I just dropped a bunch of cards onto the floor as usual. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3's soul mission and life purpose in this lifetime. Pile number 3's soul mission and life purpose in this lifetime. I'm being told to put that one in the middle. I'm gonna put this one next to it there. I'm gonna get one more card. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3's soul mission and life purpose. Pile number 3's soul mission and life purpose. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting when I'm tapping into you guys' collective is there's a strong reference in regards to empowerment and clearing any distortions that keep yourselves, but also whoever it is that you come into contact with, clearing any distortions that keep you from feeling empowered in this lifetime. So especially with a lot of the golden energy and the yellow energy that's coming through in these cards, I really do feel like a lot of your soul purpose and mission is to empower people, but to empower people you have to empower yourselves first. Now the first thing that I'm being shown is, for a lot of you guys, maybe earlier on in your life you dealt with people that really tried to disempower you and tried to make you feel maybe insecure, doubt yourself, doubt maybe psychic gifts and spiritual gifts that you have. I see a lot, especially for you guys, like in regards to childhood, like I see a lot of gaslighting, people trying to, it's like, imagine seeing someone and they're really good at something, and then it's like almost people seeing that as a threat. So it's almost like I'm trying to disempower you and I'm trying to have you not see your light, because that way then you're not really much of a threat. So I'm trying to put you down and not have you see your own light. So it's like I'm literally being shown a moth and a flame, so loads of moths kind of targeting that. And I feel like you might have gone through a process where you felt completely disempowered and completely lost yourself, but it was an initiation to then find yourself. Because once we've gone through that fire in the first place and people have kind of targeted our blind spots and really used certain tactics to disempower us, when we find that empowerment again and we tap back into our light, we now know all of the tactics that people were going to use to project onto us or to disempower us. So we come back even stronger, and that light then shines even stronger. And I really do see you guys would have walked a journey or walked a path where you would have felt completely disempowered or had your light not taken away from you, but the illusion of it being taken away from you. You not seeing that beauty within yourself, and not seeing how good you were at certain talents or certain gifts, specifically in regards to your psychic abilities. I'm also being told as well, you guys are actually really intelligent, and not just intelligent in regards to like wisdom. I feel like you guys are actually just very intelligent. You pick up a lot. You guys are able to notice like patterns and read body language. You guys are really intuitive in that way, but also like, think for you guys, like you guys are very, let's put this into words, like you guys are able to go into the depths of your own subconscious as well as maybe others. And I think that maybe why sometimes you might have been targeted, because you're able to see through a lot. You're able to see through people's masks and facades, and I think that you guys are incredibly very authentic, and I think that because of that you're able to see people's authentic selves behind the mask that they choose to portray. Like, you guys are super intelligent, but I feel like when I'm saying it to you, it's like you may still be working on seeing that, because I see that you guys, because I see psychic abilities and you being able to see cards people are trying to pull, or chess. I'm being shown like a chessboard and people making chess moves, but it's like you're able to see that move before they make that move. So it's like I'm trying to gaslight you, or I'm trying to make you think that you don't actually know this game, so that you doubt the moves that you're going to make, because otherwise you'd be able to see the moves that I was just about to make to kind of, I don't know how to play chess, so I don't know how to use this lingo, but to kind of win the game. I hope that makes sense. Like, you're able to see people's moves and people's ulterior motives, so it's almost like I'm trying to disempower you so that you don't see what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. And I feel like because of that, you've had people maybe tell you that you're not as intelligent as you are, or maybe, you know, you've had people make you doubt your psychic gifts. Like, I feel like there's been situations where maybe you've been in a relationship or you've been in a friendship and someone could have been disloyal or done something to you, and you picked up on it straight away, but then I see someone kind of gaslighting you into not believing that it's true even though it is. So then there's this feeling of not trusting yourself, and you've had to go through this process of really trusting yourself and empowering yourself, and really finding that light within, and holding on to that light and shining it out regardless, instead of feeling like you have to play small for other people. So there's a lot of that. I feel like you guys have a very, very big light, and I think a lot of your journey was you shining that out. Naturally people were going to come and try and attack it, moths were going to come and try and feed off it, and I feel like you would have got to a point where you would have either hidden that light or felt like it dimmed or it was taken away from you, to then go on a journey to find that, to realize that that light was never gone, shine it out unapologetically, and then be that lighthouse for other people. I really do feel like that is what you're here to do. I also think that you guys are extremely talented in regards to, I keep being taken for you guys like 8th house energy, 12th house energy, and then like the subconscious mind. Like, I'm being shown like the ocean, and think about all of the parts of the ocean that human beings haven't discovered. There's this feeling of like you guys holding on to mysteries there, like you guys coming through as the ocean. I think that you guys have done so much clearing and inner work in regards to going deep into your subconscious and clearing that way, and purging in regards to that way. And I feel like you guys are able to withhold a lot of darkness and still hold on to your light. Like, I'm literally being shown you going into really deep trenches with a really bright torch and going in and looking a lot of your darkness in the eye, looking at all of your wounds in the eye, to the point that nothing really scares you anymore. And I think that you're able to hold that frequency then and not be scared of the dark, to the point that I think you are here to help other people go into those trenches within their own subconscious mind and go through their own healing initiations. I feel like that's part of why you're here, because you're able to withhold a lot. Like, you're able to hold a really light frequency in really dark times, and I feel like that's why you're here as this lighthouse. That's part of your mission. It's kind of a double mission coming through, because I feel like that's why you're here, but then you would have had to see, your light was never lost. You had to go into your own darkness, and maybe you were triggered into your own darkness at times to hold that frequency. Because I see you guys swimming all the way down into like trenches and literally standing there in the pitch black, and there's all these like creepy fish moving around and shadows moving around, and you're holding a frequency there to the point that you're like igniting your whole physical body in like light, and then it's almost like shining a light in these trenches that people haven't gone to before. Some of you guys as well could be into hypnotherapy, but I feel like it's more like tapping really deep into the subconscious and get it and clearing wounds that a lot of people wouldn't even dream of even looking at. You know what I mean? It's like going under the bed, making friends with the monster under the bed, shining the torch under, you know what I mean? It's what I always say in regards to people aren't scared of the dark, they're scared of what's in it. It's like, you've met your darkness a lot. You've met your darkness and shone your light down there and found your empowerment through that. Because it's like, this isn't scary to me. This isn't going to have control over me. And a lot of people are controlled by their shadow. A lot of people are controlled by wounds that are so deep in their subconscious they're too scared to look. And I feel like part of your journey was to go into your subconscious and kind of make friends with your shadow and shine that light to see that there really isn't anything to fear, so that you can have control over that darkness and have control over that shadow instead of fearing it and running away. And then in turn you're able to help other souls do that, you know what I mean? And I think you've always had that gift, which is probably why you've been targeted by a lot of moths, because it's like they're able to see me, or they have that ability to see me. So it's almost like I'm targeting that. And maybe sometimes people didn't realize when they were trying to disempower you why they were doing it. There was this driving force of maybe fear or ignorance. They didn't really understand it, and it was because of your light. And a lot of the time when we look at people and they're a light, and they come through as that bright energy, we only look at it again from a light perspective. We only look at it from the light energy of, oh, that person's able to motivate me and that person's able to inspire me. And that's a very big part of why you're here. I think you're here to activate, inspire and help people like this lighthouse. However, when the sun shines, it shines on corners of the earth that haven't even been touched, you know what I mean? And that shine has to rise in the darkness to bring light to the earth. And that's what I'm really being taken to with you guys, because I feel like you've probably heard from a lot of people that you motivate people and you're this light. But I think that a lot of your mission was to hold that frequency in very dark times. Because I'm also being shown as well with you guys, like I'm seeing somebody sitting there and they've got like a poker face. Like they could just be sitting there and it just looks like they're daydreaming, or it just looks like they're maybe even listening into a conversation, but then it's like behind, like energetically, this person's like clearing and purging something extremely deep, like something that's way deep in their subconscious, that's been rooted there for time. It's actually goes back through DNA, through multiple generations, and it's like it's just coming up clearing within you. But to other people that wouldn't understand how to read energy, they're just looking at it like, oh, that person's just there chilling, eating some fries, like whatever, and you're just clearing a lot. Like I feel like you're really here to transmute a lot of darkness and find your empowerment through that. But I feel like you were supposed to be disempowered first to then find that how do I put this into words? You knew incarnating, that holding this frequency, a lot of people were going to try and tear you down. But I feel there's this feeling of like, I'm welcoming it, because then I'm going to rise from the ashes. That's actually going to help a phoenix moment. That's actually going to send me into my subconscious so that I can rise from the ashes in my subconscious, bring that light there, and then shine that light and guide my way home. It's reminding me of Ron from Harry Potter when he had the illuminator or deluminator, and it was like a little canister, and when he opens it, lights from like candles and light bulbs go into it, and then when he's like in the dark, he could just open it and light would just shine and kind of guide him where he needed to go. And I almost feel that you guys would have done that. It's almost like before incarnating, it was like your soul's essence, that light was in that canister, and when you kind of went into your subconscious energy or were triggered there, I feel like you used your own light to kind of light the way and guide your way home and really meet your darkness a lot of times and purge that out. And I think that was the journey then in empowering yourself to then empower other people and guide people out of their own darkness and be a lighthouse for people, which is really beautiful. I also do feel like some of you guys may also, I do see like trauma work, like working and helping other people with their own trauma and clearing wounds in that way. But I also am being taken to, because you guys are like super psychic, it feels. I also feel like you're really like psychology I'm being taken to, because I feel like you guys are able to really read people. I think that you guys would be really good like psychologists and therapists and criminology as well, but I also think blending that with your own psychic abilities would work. And I also think that could even be part of your mission, to be honest with you, because and as well, your heart's very open, because I feel like your heart leads the way. That's why there's so much green involved here. But if you can see, there's like deep purples and blues within everything. So it's like you're super intuitive, and I just feel like I keep being shown Jupiter, and that's connected to your like psychic abilities. So I don't know if you have Jupiter in the 8th house or Jupiter in the 12th house, but I feel like whatever it is you go into, I feel like your psychic abilities help you maneuver your way. I don't think they're meant to be shunned. I think that's actually a part of what helps you. So yeah, I'm really being taken to psychology and criminology and things like that. Or it could be that you just work with people in healing and releasing and clearing. But your psychic abilities really aid that, because you're able to pinpoint where people have wounds and where people have trauma and things in regards to, I see you energetically being able to see it as energy pockets in the body, but then for others of you, you're able to see it through the way people move. Like, I see you looking at people and being like, yeah, that person has a wound that is connected to you know, that this person's deeply insecure, it's connected to this, and then it's also connected to that, and that's probably why they're trying to gain control over people with this, because they're acting like this. It's like you see people as, whether it's walk-in natal charts, walk-in psychological reports, as, you know, you really see people and you see all their bodies, like physical body, mental body, spiritual body, and emotional body. And the reason you see people so deep is because you've met yourself as deep, and that was always part of the journey. You guys are really, really deep souls, and I think that's part of your mission, to be that way, so that you could see other people as deep, because we can't really evolve when there's so much hidden in the subconscious. We have to really wade and clear through that, and I think that's why you're here, to help people with that. And I think it's really interesting that with pile 1 and 2, when I was looking at their soul mission and purpose, what I was being shown was the earth right now going through a very big transition, in which we're all collectively, human beings are going through a kind of ego death, and we're all shifting to another frequency. But what I saw with pile 1 and 2 is that they were almost helping tailor those frequencies to get them on to this new frequency, and almost jumping onto that new frequency and showing people how to do it. Whereas it's different with you guys, because it's almost like, while it felt pile number 1 and 2 were almost like half in and out of the boat, helping people onto the boat, you guys are all the way down at the bottom of the sea with your torch, looking for people that are left behind, and looking into that darkness, because it's like, yeah, okay, we can ascend and reach this new paradigm, but if we don't look at the darkness on the paradigm that we're currently at, these same patterns are going to repeat when we get up there. So we really need to see where this darkness is starting from and find the seed. And really go deep there and find where it's coming from, so that we can aid in stopping that from happening and that karma continuing when we reach that next paradigm. So it's almost like, because I'm being shown like a crescent moon, so it's like the end of a karmic cycle. So it's like you guys are waiting in the darkness for any leftover souls, and helping souls understand their own darkness before making their way there, which is really, really interesting that you guys have that polar opposite side. It's really, really interesting. So let's pull your oracle cards. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3 is soul mission and life purpose. Pile number 3 is, ooh, so we have the eternal child, and we have the empty room. That literally looks like going all the way deep down to the subconscious, to the point that we're like right on the floor bed, and we're like in the darkness, and we're clearing through that. I think you've met yourself so deep, and I think it was guided that way, so that no one could even try to disempower you, because you know all of their, you know all of your fears, you're in control of them. You know all of your shadows, you're in control of them. No one can use them against you, and that's why you've gone very deep. So now it's like, try to disempower me now. You can't. I think that was the purpose, but now it's like you're helping people. Part of your mission is to help people have control over their own darkness, and sometimes it's just being an example, clearing it in regards to yourselves, so that you can be an example to the people around you. So what I'm really picking up, you guys, with the the eternal child. What's funny is straight away we have a sun right in the middle, and I was being shown you guys have this light, you know, this sunny energy. And it's funny because when I tap into you, I'm being shown this wisdom and this depth, which you would look at as an elder, right? But also the paradox of that is when I tap into you with this light energy, you almost give an air of innocence and childlike wonder. When we think of children, they want for nothing a lot of the time, because they look at life as wondrous. They look at life through their childlike eyes. There's usually not a lot of fear with children, because they don't know fear yet. It hasn't been programmed into their reality, and there's an openness, you know what I mean? You see kids and they'll talk about, you know, what they want to be when they're older, and they'll say things like, I want to be a mermaid, I want to be this, I want to be that. It's just this wondrous way of looking at life, and I feel like you guys hold on to that so beautifully, because I feel like you're so connected to your soul that you look at life in the ways of your inner child, so you see that light, but equally as much as you see that light in people, you also see that darkness within them. And I think with the empty room card, when I look at that empty room, it gives me the energy of an ego death, and I really do feel that you've gone through a lot of purging, a lot of alchemizing, and it wouldn't shock me if you've been through an ego death at one point in your life, because I feel like you've met your darkness a lot. This light that you've shone into this darkness is the light of the eternal child, is the light of your inner child, and the light of spirit. And I really do feel that looking at this darkness and, you know, sitting in this empty room, it's like you've had to, when we sit in an empty room and there's nothing there, we're alone with our thoughts. There's nothing we can distract ourselves, and human beings like to distract with so many different vices. And I feel like you really had to sit and stare at things that have been really, really painful. Like, you've had really painful realizations, and even just like the feeling of like boredom, like sitting there with boredom, like, why do I feel empty? I feel like sometimes human beings walk around with this feeling of emptiness a lot and try and fill that void, where you've really sat with your void and sat with your darkness to then create light from it. And I feel like that's your purpose, to kind of help people understand that empty room within their own subconscious and shine their own inner light and create from that. It's kind of like taking away that feeling of lack and help the people around you create from this feeling of light and what their soul truly wants, and really come to terms with, you know, parts of themselves that they're running from, so that they can kind of gain power over that, and so that it doesn't lead them further into like an abyss of detachment of who they truly are, which is what I was picking up at the beginning. You're here to kind of clear distortions and hand that empowerment back to people, and I think you've gone on that journey by yourself, so you know that it's more than just like, oh yeah, we're bringing our confidence back, oh yeah, it's empowering ourselves. Like, it's so much deeper than that. Gaining empowerment over our own physical bodies, gaining our empowerment over our own wounds, and our own trauma and our own shadows. It goes so much deeper, even our own psyche and connection to spirit, to find that empowerment again. It's a really big journey that you've been on. I think that was part of your mission, to then aid people to do that too. And I think that you guys are somewhat of a paradox, because there's such a yin yang to you, and I think that was always the point. So don't ever let people make you feel ashamed of that multi-dimensionalness of, I'm connected to the inner child and I look at life wondrous, but then I'm also very deep and can go into my darkness. Like, you're meant to be both. You're not meant to be boxed into one. Yeah, so pile number 3, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I will have the link to Kelsey's channel in my description box, so you can watch part 2 if you haven't already, so make sure you send some love that way. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video, so thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what your soul mission and life purpose is in this lifetime. So you guys chose the amethyst crystal. I'm going to start with this deck, which one of my lovely members of my collective sent to me. It doesn't have any words or anything like that, it's just images, and I really felt called to use this deck for you guys for this particular video is what I was trying to say. But I will have oracle cards that I'll be pulling as well. Honestly, getting into you guys' energy, I feel like my energy's being tailored. I tried filming your pile twice, and I kept it felt like something's coming in but it's not here yet. Like I almost felt like my frequency was being tailored in regards to you guys' collective, like your higher self, which is quite interesting. And then while I was really I had to get into a bit of a meditative state, and I was staring at your crystal while I was opening up to your pile, and then I kept being shown an anchor, and I kept being told that part of your life mission and soul purpose is to anchor in a new frequency, which is why I almost felt like there was a wave that I was waiting to align with when it came to you guys' pile, because I honestly was blanking, which doesn't happen that often, because I was not at that frequency yet. I had to be tailored into the frequency, and it's like this frequency is being anchored on earth, so it's like I'm incarnating to hold that frequency, which is really, really interesting. So I think that's part of your soul purpose and life mission, but I'm going to pull and obviously get more in regards to that, but I found that really interesting. So pile number 4 is light purpose. See, what am I even saying? Like my words, as I'm getting into it, guys, my words are just going a swift, so bear with me, because I feel like wherever your souls naturally like originate from, I feel like to speak feels weird. I don't know if you guys have ever channeled like light language, but it's like once you've channeled light language, going back to speaking normal words feels weird, because the soul doesn't actually speak, it's just an energy. So while I'm bringing these words through, my words are getting muddled up, because it's like I'm feeling weird to speak because I'm being tailored into a frequency and an energy, which is quite interesting. Pile number 4 can't even, my words are going so weird. I've never had this happen before. Pile number 4's soul purpose and life purpose in this lifetime. Okay. Yeah, look at that root chakra energy. I feel like you're here to seed and anchor a new frequency here on earth, which is connected to the psychic abilities and channeling that information down. Pile number 4. I feel like you are here to help people. You have this card as well. Look at that. It looks like a seed as well. Look. I feel like you guys are here to help people with their psychic abilities and psychic gifts. Even so, you may even be here to, you know, you have people and they're awakening to their psychic abilities. I almost feel like you're meant to coach and help guide people through that, because I feel like your psychic abilities are very open, but I also feel like you're here to help clear any distortions that stop. Sorry guys. I feel like you guys are here to help clear any distortions that stop any messages coming through from spirit. A lot of the times people will have quite strong psychic abilities, but their own fear in regards to their abilities, their own, let me think of the word. It's really hard to find words for you guys' pile. Any fears that are programmed in the brain can kind of create a barrier that stop certain abilities coming through, and certain outlooks of life that may be outdated. They can really stop souls from really embodying certain gifts, because there's even psychic gifts that we're not even aware of, that don't even have a term yet in this day and age, and I feel like you guys have those and embody those, and I feel like you're here to really help expand consciousness in some way. So think of somebody like Dolores Cannon, who did hypnotherapy, and she really made very big breakthroughs in that area and helped connect people to through hypnotherapy to souls that so this is what I mean. Bear with me guys, because as I'm getting used to this energy, I can't there's like a humorous feel coming in, as if spirit's kind of finding it funny. As I'm tailoring into this energy, it's gonna take me a moment, so expect me to blank a couple of times and expect me to stumble over my words, because this is coming through in a different way than what I'm used to. Like normally I'm just channeling and it floods through, but this almost feels different, and I don't know how to put how I'm getting your messages into words. It's really, really interesting. But I feel like you're here to seed new ways of being. You know, like how souls before they incarnate, they'll come from elsewhere and then they'll seed that information through. Think of how we got, like, you know, the pyramids and the astrology that we know, and, you know, even advancements in technology. I personally believe that souls get certain downloads and things kind of seeded through to help make those advancements. I feel like you're really here to do that and plant seeds, but I feel like it's more to do with the consciousness of people and really help people in understanding their own frequency and allowing their body to become more light in that way. So, but it's different for you guys, because when I'm thinking of like clearing, and I'm thinking of clearing the subconscious, I don't even feel like you're here to do necessarily that. It's almost activating seeds of light and looking at life in a deeper way, and looking at life in a higher vibrational way through. It's like helping people step onto a new dimension, but on earth. It's really, really interesting, and I feel like you've got a lot of wisdom that your soul remembers that you're here to seed through. And I feel like you're here to hold space to help other souls connect to their psychic abilities and connect to that wisdom, and hold space for those breakthroughs with other souls as well. You may have gone through a lot of dark nights of the soul in this lifetime. You may have gone through ascension after ascension after ascension, Kundalini awakening, or you may find that there's a turning point in your current life where, because I see it happening, where there would be a very big switch where something's turned on and you go through a very big awakening or ego death in this lifetime to kind of prepare you to help certain souls in activating certain abilities that have been dormant for some time. I feel like you're here to help people remember. I feel like that's part of your soul mission, and that's going to come in so many different ways. And I feel like with you guys, I feel like to define is to limit is the word I want to use, because I could sit here and say, oh, you could start a YouTube and guide people there, or you could write a book and help people there, or you could start seminars and start helping people there, or you could just start your a local shop in your hometown and wait for people to come in. But I feel like you guys are going to do a lot of different you guys are going to have a lot of different breakthroughs, and I feel like you guys are going to go down a lot of different avenues in this lifetime, in guiding people to helping them tailor their frequency, because I'm not being taken to a particular pathway. It's like I'm being taken to like health and major breakthroughs in regards to health, and, you know, holistic health as well, medicine, psychedelics, but then also with healing, so like shamanism and Reiki healing, but then it's also like fitness, and I see breakthroughs everywhere, and I see you guys seeding. So for all of you, it's going to be so different. You may even be drawn to more than one pile. I'm finding it extremely hard to really tailor what your soul mission is, because I don't think that there is one specific avenue you're meant to go down. I feel like you're meant to seed pieces of consciousness in different areas. I feel like some of you guys may even be called to creating movies and music where there's, because I keep being taken to like Aquarius energy, so blazing a new path, starting a new path. I'm even being taken for some of you guys in regards to science. It's almost like everybody's looking to the left and you're showing people to look to the right. It's like we're going to go down a very normal career path, but make people see it in a different way. And even in regards to your lifestyle, I feel like you're also here to hold a frequency and have a completely different lifestyle to show people that there's a different way of doing things, a different way of living, a different way of eating, a different way of you know, like you see people and they like live in a van and they just like drive around and they just live from that van. Like that's very different to what we're taught to do in like mainstream, and I feel like that's something in a way, if I had to put it into words, what you guys are here to do. Like, you guys are here to show people a different way of living, a different way of thinking, even connecting to spirituality. Like, there's a lot of distortions even with how spirituality is put out there, especially now that it's become a little bit mainstream. People are capitalizing off of the connection to spirit, which there's no one way of connecting to spirit, and I feel like you guys are even here to challenge the norms of that. A lot of people look at it in a very love and light way. I feel like you guys know more than anyone it's not just that, and there's so much depth to it, and I feel like you guys are here to kind of blaze a path in that way and show a different way of that. To honestly sit here, and I think that's why I'm having such a hard time putting you into boxes, to honestly sit here and to define your soul mission would be just taken us completely off path, because I don't think I could define you guys at all. I think that you are here to be innovative and plant seeds in every area, even just like meeting somebody on the street, planting seeds of people to look at life in a different way, because I see a lot of your friendships and relationships spending time with you and then walking away and looking at life differently, and I think that's what you're literally here to do. But then it bleeds into your career path, it bleeds into your lifestyle, you know, and I think that's what you're here to do, and really make big shifts and waves. I don't think that you're here to tread lightly in this lifetime. I think that you're here to really go against the norm. It's given me very Aquarius, rebellious energy, but going against the norm and planting seeds and making advancements in certain areas. Again, when you think of Dolores Cannon, she was the whole reason she was able to go beyond just, oh, we're going into the subconscious mind, and really go beyond this life and tap into souls before they even incarnated. She did that because she chose not to follow the rules. She chose that because she chose to go past where she was told to go, and she made an advancement. And I feel like you're here to kind of break those rules in ways and really create and show advancements. It's like we're shown a map of how to live life, and I'm going to go off the beaten track and show a different way, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what you're here to do, because then you're holding a frequency and you're opening a pathway. It's like you're creating a rupture in this pipe for newness to kind of come through, and that way human beings then are open to another level of consciousness, because you've trailblazed, you've made that journey, you know what I mean, and lived to tell that tale, so people then are able to do that. And I feel like that's what you're really here to do with this seeding energy, and you know, rooting yourself back in, like clearing to make those advancements, because we have the 8 and the 1, which adds up to 9, and 9 is ruled by Mars, so it's kind of like blazing what we know down and kind of doing our own thing, and that's what I'm really being shown. And we also have 9 here, which is Mars energy again, but this is really coming through as like a seed being planted. So I think it's kind of interesting that this then looks like a seed, and then we have this kind of unraveling here, and then we have the root chakra energy, because I really do feel like you're here to seed a lot of information, seed a lot of healing through. And I think sometimes for you guys, it comes so effortless that you don't realize that you've probably activated a lot of people into awakenings. You've probably activated healing in someone, even if you've triggered somebody and you didn't mean to. That triggering is bringing something up from the subconscious, which is allowing somebody space to clear and heal something. And I really do feel that's why you're here, and I feel like it happens so naturally that a lot of the times you could just be walking, you know, through a store and speak to someone you haven't seen for a while, walk away, think it was just this harmless meeting, all the while this person's now thinking, because you've seeded information. Even I see you guys like with friends and family members, and you might not think that you're having so much of an impact on them, but then I see you guys walking away from them, and something you've said has triggered some sort of awakening or an expansion, or even you just embodying an energy of forgiveness or embodying an energy of love. I feel like that then has the effect for other people to embody that too, and I really do feel that's why you're here. But I keep being shown you guys either working for like a firm or working in some sort of area in Korea, and being able to make advancements because you're helping people go a different way or look at something from another point of view, because you see stuff from a higher perspective, which is really, really interesting. I love how it took me a minute to get in, and I was like, wait, how am I channeling this? And then now it's kind of flowing through. It took me a minute to tailor to you guys this frequency, which is really, really interesting. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. Pile number 4's soul mission and life purpose in this lifetime. Pile number 4's Soul mission. We have the gem. One more card from this deck, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 4's life mission and soul purpose in this lifetime. And we have the Apocalypse. Now, what's interesting, I do want to say about the Apocalypse card, first of all, is that a lot of the times when we think of an apocalypse, we think of it in a really scary way. But in actuality, an apocalypse is the ending of something to usher in something new. And when we all think of, you know, the end of the world, or, you know, people talk about like we're at the end times, we are currently in a very big transitional stage on earth. We are at the end times, but the end times come so a new wave can begin, and the end doesn't have to be scary because it means that we're ushering in a new beginning. Just like when we are children and we let go of our baby teeth, we then have our adult teeth come in. They have to fall out, they have to come out for our adult teeth to then make their way in. And that's very much what you're here to help people harness in that new wave as that ending comes in, because collectively humanity is going through a very big ego death right now. All of you've been on earth over the last couple of years, you know the shifts, you know the changes, you know that there's awakenings happening, you know that people are becoming a lot more aware of certain things. And I feel like you guys are also aware of the very big shadow period that's happening, where there's a lot of wounds coming up collectively, and a lot of human beings are going through a lot of purging right now. There's a heaviness here also, but I feel like that's where you come in, because you're here to harness and activate new energies, and harness and activate that, whether it's healing or that consciousness coming in and that wisdom coming in, and helping people either remember it and remember that coding from, you know, ancient times when we were more aware and connected to spirit, but also just the soul's remembrance. I feel like you are here to help activate that. And then with the gem card, like when you think about crystals and diamonds and anything like that, like it says about this card, gems and crystals, they're found deep under the earth. They're created through pressure, they're created in the darkness deep under the earth's core, but because of that, they hold a specific frequency. When we hold crystals and we hold on to these energies, there's a certain frequency that they hold that's so enriched in the abundance and wisdom of Mother Gaia, but there's also a frequency there. Even when you have gems and crystals that have come from beyond this physical world, think of like moldavite and things like that, crystals that have come from like meteorites, they hold a specific frequency, they hold a specific energy. And I feel like that's what you're here to do, kind of like have that energy as somewhat like a crystal to help aid in ushering a frequency there. We usually tend to be drawn to crystals that we are in need of, because they hold a frequency that we need help with. And I feel like that's what you're here to do. And it's interesting that the back of your deck, you guys have the mentor, because I feel like you are really here to help guide in some sort of way, similar to, I think it was pile number 1, you are here to incarnate as some sort of guide for people. But I feel like you're kind of here in a way to like guide light workers and, you know, souls that know that their home isn't necessarily here, and help activate that energy and hold that frequency and anchor that frequency. I feel like you're here, like Spirit said when I was tapping into your energy, you're here as an anchor to hold a frequency on this earth, which is really, really, really beautiful. And I definitely think once I end this video and I come back into my energy, I'm gonna have to really call all of my energy back to me, because I just tapping into you guys, honestly, I had to wait for what felt like an ocean to come in, and I had to literally tailor my frequency to yours. And I don't know whether it's because my hormones weren't the best over the past couple of days, so I had to kind of align with that so it wasn't natural, or whether it is literally just your frequency and me having to tune into it. Either way, that was really interesting, a really interesting start, and I really hope the beginning of the video wasn't too choppy as I was getting used to it. But yeah, that's what I had for you guys, pile number 4. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I will have the link to Kelsey's channel in the description box if you haven't had it over there yet. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.